Go away! No!
Every once in a while, humans have had encounters with wild beasts, either when hiking, camping, during safari rides, visiting wildlife parks, and the likes. Face-off between man and wild animals has gradually reduced over the past few years, as we humans are learning to adapt and live with our earthly neighbors. After all, they've existed before us. It's not all death and devouring when you come across a wild animal in the wild. Sometimes, you could have an encounter with a man-eating animal and live to tell the story. I mean, animals that have had a record of feasting on humans as a pattern of hunting behavior, and not those who scavenge corpses, or a one-off attack born of opportunity or severe hunger, or eating humans they killed in self-defense. There are proven ways you could defend yourself in such situations. In today's video, we'll be showing just that. Welcome to another episode of Forever Green, and this time, you'll be learning how to survive against some wild animal attacks. These are proven tips and tricks by wildlife experts. Make sure you watch till the end. Let's begin.
Oh shit. No! Hey! Back up!
10. Tigers. Tigers aren't big, cute, cuddly cats. In fact, tigers are the most feared man-eating felines amongst the other big cats. And the fact that a swipe from a tiger can take out the king of the kingdom is enough to prove how powerful these cats are. And any thought of brawling with one should quickly be banished from your mind. Most of the deaths recorded were carried out in the tiger's territory. Also, tigers rarely attack at night. The majority of their attacks occur during the day, unlike leopards and lions. Between the early 1800s and 2009, a whopping 373,000 have been reportedly killed by tigers. To avoid adding to this appalling statistic, here are a few things you should have in mind. Be quiet. If you get to spot the tiger before it sees you, make yourself as quiet as possible. And don't move. Your movement might let the tiger know of your presence and turn its deadly gaze on you. Stay upright. Tigers also stalk humans they find crouching while in the jungle. Once you stand, the tiger immediately loses interest, as humans aren't their preferred prey. If you find yourself crouching or taking the number 2 in an area with known tiger presence, get up and stand upright, fast. Taking long, deep breaths and staying calm will also help in getting away from a tiger. It would be unwise to take a flight or fight approach to such an encounter. Avoid showing your back to the animal. Back off slowly without making eye contact. And as soon as the tiger is far away enough, get out of there as swiftly as you can. In cases where you're with a child, use the child to your advantage. Put the child on your shoulder. It will make you appear more intimidating. The same goes for an adult you can place on your shoulder. Another important tip is not to pee your pants. Literally. Tigers are attracted to urine and may think you're marking your territory and translate that as an act of aggression. Climb a tree. Tigers can't climb trees. If you find a tree high enough that you could climb, get on it as soon as possible, and stay at a height you know the tiger couldn't possibly reach. And lastly, in the event of being caught by the tiger, don't play dead. You're only making yourself an easy meal. If a tiger has you in its grasp, brave up and stick your hand in its mouth to trigger a gag reflex, which will stop it from biting you. On the brighter side, tigers are more afraid of attacking humans than lions. They aren't quite familiar with humans, and they haven't learned how easy it is to catch and kill us. 9. Grizzly Bear. Bears can look cute, innocent, and adorable, but for some people, an encounter isn't anything like that. Places like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and some parts of Washington have been known as grizzly bear territory in the United States and other parts of the world. Ordinarily, bears don't want to attack people. We kill them more than they kill us, and they seem to be aware of this ratio. Therefore, bears only attack when they are scared by humans or in extreme cases of hunger. Grizzly bears can be told apart from their black counterpart by their bigger build and extra aggressiveness, as color alone might not be enough to tell them apart. They have a hump of muscles in their upper back, a trademark of brown grizzly bears. If you bump into a big brown bear, it's very unwise to take to your heels instantly or attempt to take on the bear. A grizzly bear can stand up to 8 feet tall. 595 pounds. Averagely, sprint at 30 miles per hour and have claws up to 4 inches long as your fingers. Here are a few tips to keep in mind to defend yourself. First, and most importantly, when you're in bear country, never leave home without a bear spray. You should have a bear spray, which is basically a pepper spray with farther range and can spray for a longer period, in your holster or front pocket. Since you'll only get a few seconds to spray it, bear spray is more effective in defending oneself against grizzlies than a gun. The best distance to spray a bear bearing down on you is about 40 to 50 feet. This is to create a wall of pepper spray between you and the grizzly. Keep spraying till the bear changes direction while you back away slowly. When it comes to going hiking in bear country, the more is merrier and safer. When hiking, always go in groups and be as loud as possible. Talk, sing, make noises, anything to let them know you're there. It prevents you from startling the bears. A startled bear is an angry bear. If you find yourself face to face with a bear, stand tall, stay calm, and slowly reach for your bear spray, even if the bear stands up, which simply means the bear is curious. Don't freak out and run. Stand your ground, back away slowly, and ready to spray in case the bear charges. If the bear makes its way through the bear spray shield, or you aren't with the bear spray, and a bear charges, fall down and interlock your fingers over the back of your neck to protect it. Protect your vital organs by laying face down on the ground or by assuming a fetal position, with knees tucked under your chin. Play dead. In instances where the bear starts to attack you, it only sees you as a threat. Playing dead gives the grizzly the impression it won, and will walk away as soon as it no longer sees you as a threat. After the bear walks away, wait for about 20 minutes before getting up. Grizzlies linger to make sure you're truly dead. 8. Moose. Let me start by saying that a moose isn't a predator. Also, they are herbivores. But it would interest you to know that moose is responsible for way more injuries every year than bears and wolves combined. Moose are the largest deer species in the world. The heaviest moose ever recorded tipped the scale at 1,800 pounds and stood 7 feet tall at the shoulder. In addition to their head and antlers, they can tower 10 feet tall. Moose are timid and are easily spooked, but due to their enormous size, they can prove tough and choose to defend themselves. Moose are incredibly aggressive and would readily charge when they feel threatened. Don't be fooled by their sluggish and meek demeanor. When moose charge, they do so at a speed of about 30 miles per hour. And when they attack, they do so with both their hooves and their whole body weight, which is around 1,300 pounds. To knock their offender to the ground and crush them, do these when attacked by a moose. Don't fight back. Fighting back isn't a smart thing to do. You can't win, and it'll just keep fighting you. Back away slowly or run fast. If you decide to run, make sure you can find a cover, preferably a big tree, a vehicle, or any other solid thing you can hide behind or climb. You can't fully outrun a moose. And if a moose knocks you down, curl up into a ball and play dead. It helps protect your head and vital organs. Remember, the moose isn't out to eat you, it just wants to neutralize you as a threat. Don't get up until the moose is at a safe distance or has left the area, else it attacks again. Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications in less than 5 seconds, you will have 10 years of amazing luck. Hurry up and try it. It actually works. 7. Black bear. There are two major types of black bears separated by the Pacific Ocean, the American and the Asian. But they are more closely related to each other than their close relative, the grizzly bear. The American black bear is the smallest and most common bear in North America. In contrast, Asiatic black bears, commonly found in China, Japan, Korea, and Russia, have a small and diminishing population due to deforestation and human hunting activities. The American black bears often attack humans, but since they are faster, smaller, and better climbers than the grizzly bear, they'd rather flee than attack. But in the unlikely event that you get attacked by a black bear, here are a few tips to keep in mind. As with grizzlies, whenever you're in black bear territory, make sure you carry bear spray. Keep food and trash packed away, and make as much noise when hiking, so you don't surprise any hidden bears. Because black bears are less aggressive than brown bears, standing your ground and demonstrating yourself to be large and loud will guarantee that they leave you alone. Wave your hands above your head, shout, and create a commotion. Make use of sticks and other objects to make yourself even bigger. Climbing a tree while trying to avoid a black bear attack isn't a smart choice. They are excellent climbers, and they have a tendency to chase anything that is running away, so there's every chance they trap you in the tree. Fight back. Fighting back against a black bear is often better than curling up to the ground. Don't forget to keep making noise and looking large throughout the standoff. Look for any nearby object you can use as a weapon to fend off the bear. And if you can't find anything useful around, punch or kick the bear's nose or any other sensitive area. Whatever you do, ensure you never run away. Make the bear do that. 6. Polar bear. Polar bears are an entirely different ballgame. Not only are they the biggest bears alive, but they are also the largest of all land carnivores. Polar bears are more of carnivores than other bears, feeding mainly in seals and fish. Humans are no match for a face-off with any bear, but with polar bears, the contest is pretty lopsided. And since they are not accustomed to seeing people and are curious creatures, they're more likely to view humans as prey. But since they live in isolation in the Arctic, attacks on humans are few and far between. However, the effects of climate change have contributed to the inland migration of polar bears, thereby increasing the chance of human polar bear encounters. That being said, here are ways to defend yourself against polar bear attacks. First of all, the best strategy is to avoid meeting one in the first place. Polar bears are the biggest bears in the world and are much harder to scare than black or brown bears. Just like with black and grizzly bears, turning your back and running away isn't the best thing to do. In fact, it only confirms their suspicion that you're prey. Besides, polar bears are faster and better at running on ice and snow. Although standing your ground and attempting to scare away a polar bear might not work on a hungry polar bear, but it's still worth a shot. Avoid drawing attention to yourself if the bear doesn't see you first. But if it does and approaches, stand up straight, speak loudly, and act as the predator, just as demonstrated by this brave man. Your best bet against a polar bear is the all-too-familiar bear spray. We can't emphasize enough how important these little things are in saving you from a bear mauling. Unfortunately, playing dead or fighting back doesn't work well against polar bears, as with their smaller relatives. They are more interested in eating you than neutralizing you, so playing dead only makes their job a lot easier. There's no use fighting back, but if you find yourself rolling around in tundra with a massive polar bear, you don't have much to lose. So, as with other bears, try to injure their eyes and nose and stay away from those big, swinging paws. One swipe is enough to kill a person. 5. Mountain lion/cougar. Cougars are known to be predators that deliberately stalk their prey. Suppose it determines you are a viable prey. In that case, it will trail you until the right moment for an attack. But this is highly unlikely, so whenever you plan on hiking in the western United States or Canada, and in the rare case of being attacked, you should do these. Cougars are more likely to go after loners than those hiking in groups. Also, they are more prone to attack kids under 16 than full-grown adults. Therefore, it is advisable to hike in groups, especially when you have young ones in the group. If you encounter a cougar, don't run. Stop and stand tall. Wave your hands and shout at it. Make yourself bigger and don't show fear. If the cougar continues to display aggressive behavior, throw rocks and don't stop shouting at it. Crouching or trying to hide isn't going to work. If the animal attacks, ensure you don't go to the ground. If you do, you're in trouble.
Go it! No! No!
Give the cougar everything you have. If it attacks, fight back aggressively with anything you can lay your hands on. Rocks, club, knife, whatever. Gouge your fingers into its eyes and fight with every violence you can muster.
Oh shit. No! Hey! 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 Back up!
4. Wolf/Coyote. Wolves and their close relative the coyote travel in packs. So, whenever you see one, just know the pack isn't too far behind, lurking in the bushes, ready to fight. Nowadays, wolf and coyote attacks on humans are more rampant because deforestation and climate change have forced them to leave their natural habitats. These animals are sly and stalk their prey,
Stop it!
sneaking in from behind to nip and rip at leg muscles to bring their victim down. Once you're down, the pack will swarm you. Here's what to do if you encounter a pack of coyotes or wolves. Running will only trigger an attack. Plus, you can't outrun animals that can reach a top speed of over 30 miles per hour. Shout at the animal to make it back off. These animals move around in packs and attack in a coordinated manner. If you are alone and surrounded, you'd better start shooting to kill, or end up on the dinner plate. Whatever you do, don't lose your footing, because as soon as you go to the ground, the pack will rush in and rip you to pieces. And when you're in a group and surrounded, position yourselves back to back, maintaining eye contact with the animals. Use whatever you could use as a weapon to fend off the attack. 3. Crocodiles. While there are 25 species of crocodiles in the world, only 11 species pose a serious threat to humans. With the Nile crocodile, saltwater crocodile, and the mugger croc accounting for the larger portion of the 300 to 1,000 people reportedly killed by crocodiles yearly. A crocodile would have to be at least 8 feet long to be able to kill a person, and luckily, not all species get that large. Crocodiles are regarded as one of the deadliest animals on the planet, partly because of their ability to sit and wait for predators. They can be submerged underwater, lurking for prey to come by, for almost 2 hours without coming up for air. They also have the strongest bite for any large predator. Putting that in perspective, a croc's bite is 50 times stronger than that of a human. When confronted by a crocodile, here are tips on how to survive a croc attack. The best advice is to stay away from places where you are likely to get attacked by crocodiles in the first place. You don't want to handle a croc when you're locked in its jaw. That's because once a crocodile clamps you down, it's practically impossible to get out. And when you do find yourself in the croc's mouth, your only chances of survival are its sensitive parts, the eyes, nostrils, and throat. Gouge it in its eyes, and if you can't reach the eyes, the next most vulnerable places are the throat and nostrils. They have a flap of skin that blocks off water from their throat. If your hand is caught in its mouth, you may be able to pull this flap down, and it could release you. Never think a crocodile will let you go if you play dead. Nobody can survive long enough underwater to pull off such a prank. Fight your way out of the situation, fast. Time is of the essence. As soon as you break free from the croc, get out of the water quickly and run into safety. And seek medical attention straight away. You've survived a brave battle. 2. Bison. In Yellowstone National Park, bison are responsible for twice more injuries to visitors than grizzly bears. An encounter with a bison will lead to being butted, stomped, and gored by something that resembled a locomotive covered in fur. They are extremely aggressive, territorial, and charge at humans at the drop of a hat. There's a reason why visitors are advised to stay at least 100 yards from bison.
Many people have been killed and injured by charging bison at Yellowstone. These girls were lucky.
After a bison knocks a person down, they usually wander off and go back to grazing, but in rare cases, a bison will stand over the victim. There was a case of someone who was knocked back to the ground when she tried to get up, and another was gored severely while still on the ground. Want to avoid being charged by a bison? Here's what you should do. Run for cover if it is close. Bison are faster than they look. Taking cover behind something large is usually a great idea. Since bison can't climb trees, getting up into a tree when chased also guarantees your safety. Remember, the bison isn't trying to make a meal out of you, it's just pissed that you're in its space. Lastly, keep your distance. You wouldn't have to worry about the points mentioned earlier if you just leave the bison be. 1. Lions. Lions, found mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, are one of Africa's apex predators. They also have a history of feasting on human flesh. Though such incidences have reduced over time, it would also interest you to know that lions eat humans as a supplement to other food and not the last resort. They have been reported to have killed over 250 people yearly, and when you get into an encounter with a lion, it's usually a one-sided fight. A male lion can weigh up to 190 kilograms, 420 pounds, be as long as 3 feet long, including its tail, and can run as fast as 128 kilometers an hour when chasing down prey. Luckily, there are a few things you could do to defend yourself against an attack. Even when it's against all logic, never run away when you encounter a lion. Lions are known to perform bluff charges accompanied by a deep growling sound just to size you up. Never be intimidated by this and stand your ground. Rather, stay tall and make yourself as big as possible, making noise and yelling at it. Retreat slowly and never turn your back on it. Move away slowly while keeping an eye on the lion. Climbing trees isn't going to save you either. It only leaves you stranded as lions can climb trees. And in the unfortunate event where the lion attacks out of the blue, or you panicked, protect your neck. Lions kill their prey by suffocating them. Therefore, protect your throat at all costs. There you have it, guys. 10 animal attacks you can defend. I hope you've gathered a few tricks and tips that will help you stay safe in your outdoor adventures. And if you're someone like me who wouldn't like to be in such a situation, I'd suggest you stay in the comfort and safety of your cities. What animal encounter are you most afraid of? Have you had an encounter? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.